This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. OMG, it has started. If you've been following the channel, we talked about looking for bottoms during or slightly after OPEX going into the end of the year for the Santa Claus rally / January effect combination that is usually seasonally bullish. Bingo, professional gap starts it today. So let's get into that. I know a lot of folks who are tempted to short that action or try to trade against it. I would warn you, please be careful. Somebody who's been trading for a long period of time, when the news makes you feel the most confident in a direction, the more you need to be careful with your emotions. Hence why we are always slightly contrarian in mind, because we know the market is meant to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. And I swear to God, everybody, I mean, I guess I don't need to swear to God, but you know what I mean. I swear to anything possible that the market knows how to make our minds do the things that we want to do that leads to them winning. If you don't believe that, then why do 95% of traders fail? 95% of traders. Now, buy and hold is different, but traders, that is impressive how well the psychology leads us to losing. So, unless you study the past, you follow the channel, you pay attention to these things, and you learn, I swear to God, I'm saying it twice, you will become a statistic. And right now is one of those potential moments where the furus, the average person, is getting real short. And the problem is they didn't get short at the high. Some of them did. Now, again, some of the listeners may have shorted. Great. But right now, you need to be expecting the counter trend rally. If it doesn't continue tomorrow, maybe, who knows? Again, but the trajectory, I think, is up. The VIX is going to bottom out. It's going to play games. Please be safe. This might be a one more day event, but you know the levels. Please stick around. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Throw me a like if you actually like what you're listening to. I'm telling you, it's well worth it. Just in the mindset alone, just understanding how to get played. That's what the market does. Follow on Twitter for continuous updates of what we're thinking, what we're doing, posting trades. A lot of people want to be in the Discord room. I just don't open it up to public because it gets too crazy. People start thinking I'm Jim Cramer, can answer any question anytime, and people just don't do the work. I want people in there who just want to bust their butt, take some good trades, learn from it, but be willing to work hard. You're not getting to the show if you aren't willing to grow. And I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, understanding yourself. Back to Basic series, y'all check it out. There's 54 freaking videos about everything. Everything. Literally. Everything. For the most part, that we talk about within trading that's important. Psychology, no doubt, videos are in there. Bitcoin. Leave it alone, little doggy. Been talking about this. You had the head and shoulders top. Come back to the shoulder line, fail. I mean, this thing is, it's just hard to trade. I don't want to say dead money because this could be the bottom, but it's hard. If you want to trade something that looks like it's stuck in a big channel, I don't know what the catalyst is. I am a complete crypto idiot when it comes to this stuff, but I look at this technically and go, damn, smoky, lower lows, lower highs, nothing to tell me the bottom's in. And again, I'd love to say the bottom is in and this thing might rip, but it has been stuck in neutral. So if you're probably not the best thing to trade. If you want to buy and hold it, that's your decision. Nat Gas, again, I give shout outs to people when they inform me of things that I was wrong on or potentially was, I would say, incorrect about timing or seasonality. My man Sonny here talking about Nat Gas pattern repeating from last year. It was just ugly. Now here you go. It's looking pretty head and shoulder-ish. Which, again, could this be the bottom down here? Now, as somebody who is deathly afraid of losing money, well, guess what? Natural gas is the widowmaker. You wanna get caught wrong? Hurts. If you can get extremes, and this could be one, you might have a winner there. We liked oil. We talked about it. So let's go through the sequencing of it. Right? Talked about it. Stopping out. talked about maybe getting the mid-60s. Saying talking about a lot. Said, all right, well, it's probably going to bounce now. Look what happens when it gets up to the old trend line, backs off. Said, watch this 73, 74. Now we're making new highs. If the market's rising, not surprised if oil rises. Now, again, is this the long-term bottom? Tough to know. I'd be watching the mid-60s. But that happens. You can miss bottoms. I just think if the VIX is going to spike into the 50s plus at some point and the market gets absolutely pummeled, there will be a pullback in oil. Trade it. Be safe. Be thoughtful. Moving right along. Dollar. A lot of people want to buy it down here. It technically broke below what I thought we'd get to, and now it's slightly bouncing. As you can see, these levels matter. At this point, I mean, I expect the dollar at some point to go on a mega rally, potentially. Remember, the straight line move ends the move. We had a pretty straight line move, but now is this just a pullback? Point being is I have no position on the dollar. A lot of people are trying to get situated in it, trying to figure out a direction. Personally think the easiest thing is the market. You can come back to the dollar later. It seems like it's trapping down here, but I don't think the trend has changed yet, so I don't know for sure. Again, dollar dynamics, a little harder than the stock market, in my opinion. Bond market, speaking of harder, bond market, smartest market out there. Held the 0.382, chopping, not making a new low. I think that helped the market today. I said it, and I say it all the time. Dollar, bonds, volatility is what spooks the market. Chopping action in the dollar, in the bond market, isn't really too big of a deal. All right, got it? Good. The VIX, you're welcome. Told y'all, look at the repeating pattern. Always chop bottoms with this stuff, especially during the end of the year. Had it a lot, and again, just in general, chop bottoms. Until the market's ready to dump, you should have been nervous, like the recent action. Like, it didn't confirm it. We talked about if the VIX doesn't confirm, just like up here at the highs, we said the VIX didn't confirm. Don't expect the market to dump. Don't expect the market to dump and make new lows. Well, which it didn't. It retested the lows. Technically, some didn't, some did. Point being, boom. Market's been up to sideways since October. Now what? I still think it could get back down into maybe 18, 19. Even if not, the market can rise confidently with what I would consider like a healthy short squeeze and buyers chasing. We'll talk about it later. Here it goes. Here's the SPY. Sorry, it's exciting. Professional gap. I think you can get to the 200-day, maybe the 20-day, somewhere in this range, 400 and change to mid 390s. I mean, people were talking about shorting today. This is hyperbole, but I just want to reach through the screen, grab him by the neck, and say, "What the are you doing?" No, just like here. All this said, worry about a professional gap. If you get stopped out, that's fine. Now, buying and shorting, depending on the range, I get it. But after this many days down, I can't short, right? So I wait. Play the up. Same kind of thing. If you get caught with gaps and they do continue, you got to be careful. You got to be willing to admit you're flipping wrong. The hardest thing about professional gaps up, and now again, see all these gaps in here. People are like, oh, is it pro or novice? You don't know until after the fact. You just have to be on red alert. Now, it's easier to see them when they're coming off of highs or extreme lows, right? Well, here we're kind of mid-pattern, but we're holding support. This gap's up. I'd be nervous because the close. Now, people are like, look at all the volume. Yeah, well, think about it. Market makers had to absorb this, selling down. It's probably some sort of spring back. Could it make new highs? I have no clue. But if I'm short, I'm not looking for the answer. I'm not trying to figure that out. Because what I'd prefer to do, and this is what I do in a trader's market, bear market, we talk about it, trade around your positions. When the bear stuff ends, you go long. When the bull stuff ends, you go short. Well, seasonality effect says be prepared. Now, it could be just a week, 2 weeks. As a bear, if I was a bear, I'm making sure I'm hedging. I'm long. I've got some, any covered puts. We were talking about that earlier. Covered calls, covered puts, whatever you want to do. Just don't sit here and think it's just not going to rally, because the tendencies we've showed you, and if, God forbid for bears, because this would actually be the best short, and they don't want to hear this, but this is my best insights. Look what we had. We had the Santa Claus rally last year, and then chop, then a dumper. Look at that. Choppy action, little new high, then dumper. Choppy action, maybe a big range, any pop, some higher high. You know, little fava beans, kidney beans. No, is it Silence of the Lambs? His little taste, like that to me, right? That to me. Get it some back up here, then that would be a better short, in my opinion. Because then the seasonality after this January effect is what earnings could be crappy, the market could get. I don't know what's the best way to describe it. Sloppy. Remember, GDP's tomorrow. So if it comes out what they're expecting, 2.9%, all of a sudden that anthem of recession goes, shh. No. Q's, same kind of thing. Nice little gap up, closed at the highs somewhere, 298, 289, 290. Yeah, there you go. Like that, somewhere in that 10-point range. IWM, here we go. Started rising and leading more. Look at this. Gets over all these days' highs. That's leading, y'all, not bearish. Okay, so pull up the SPY, right? You know, getting into the gap. Look at the IWM, y'all. Filling the gap. Leading, not bearish, just potentially. Again, the probabilities. Now you start weighing the pros and cons of each, and you start seeing there's a case building for rises coming. I'm just amazed today how many people were asking me about shorting. I just, like, what? Have I not taught you well enough to be out, probability based? Like, are you just logging into the computer and going, start stock market's up, short it, stock market's down, buy it? Like, that kind of idiot tendency, which we all have gone through, will lead you to bust. Gold, double top, I don't know, watch it. I mean, we talked about a mid-December pullback. You got one. Not very deep. Am I shorting this? No. Am I longing this? No. It's again, I would wait for a bigger pullback. Well, what if it goes higher? Great, then there'll be a bigger pullback. Easy money is when we told you to get in here. You're welcome. Told you to take most of it here. Told you definitely take all of it by the 200-day. After that, wow, it's gone a little higher, chopping, whatever. You trade it. Again, I get people like, oh, you missed. I'm like, no. We made the easy money. Now going forward, if you want to be bullish, fine. You're rolling the dice. You are absolutely rolling the dice because I don't know. I just don't know. Seasonality says up, but I don't like what the Fed's talking about doing. I don't like the ideas of some of the things that could pull the market and smash, especially like silver, right? If the VIX at some point spikes in January, do I want to go long metals and materials right now? These metals, if the market's going to rise, probably not. Do I want to short them? Probably not. But here's the problem. I'm trying to find the market. I feel the market's easier to trade up at this point than this stuff. People say, oh, it's leading up. No one's going to argue. That's why I'm saying don't short it. But I don't know if I trust it. I mean, we had similar situation last year, right? You had this pop into January, then it came right back down. And if you just don't want to, I just don't think you want to chase it. It's not good for you. All right, well, people don't listen. You've been warned. GDX. Now, again, if you're shorting the miners, I kind of get it because they are lagging. Hits the 200-day, backs off. We'll see what happens. I mean, this stuff could go a little higher. GDXJ. Keep in mind, rising market tends to lift the miners. You're at the 200-day, fibs, all sorts of fun games. We'll see what happens. It's just, people are like, oh, you're lazy. No, I like the easiest trades. I'd rather bet on things that seem very predictable versus let's roll the damn dice. 'Cause I'm telling you, when you buy lottery tickets, you don't win the lottery. One out of somebody wins. Like, we're trying to pick up free money versus trying to play lottery tickets. And that mindset, people just cannot wrap their damn heads around. Oh, we're trying to find the hardest trade. Let's try to make money when it's not there. Let's try to make a trade out of nothing. Go down to the 7-Eleven and buy the fucking lottery tickets. Stop trading options and trading the market like it's a gamble. I'm telling you, it's so bad for your brain. It just leads you to doing the dumbest crap ever. You don't think about it because you're conditioned to think it's okay. Well, everyone else does it. Well, guess what? 95% of traders lose. Do you want to do what they do? AG, another reason why we didn't trust silver, but even though silver has been leading, this stock should be up in the 10 and 11s. Red flag. AEM. God, this topic is just everyday hilarious to me. It's like so obvious, but you just can't do it. 0.618. Watch what happens. Holding up better than the other ones. Newmont, even on today, was down. Wow. Tries to make up, maybe a lower high. Ugh. Pass. Moving on to pass. Same thing kind of thing. Don't really like it. I mean, let them play out. Let's move on to tech because I think there's a trade here. Playa. AMD. Talked about it touching this gap. Probably could bounce. Thought maybe here, but then it didn't. Then it became very obvious. Why? Oh, you're like, what is that, Dan? That is a big gap from the past. Big volume gap. See it? You see it? It's on. Son. Son, scene, sun. I don't know. I'm just talking crappy grammar. I said it could probably rise 7-8 points. Well, you're getting there. Maybe 10. I don't know. Either way, I'm actually bought some Soxhole today. God forbid. Longing the freaking tech names. Moo. Let's talk about it. After hours down at 50. Well, look at that. It's just right back here. We'll see what happens. NVIDIA, 165. Holding up. Holding at the point. Whatever. 5618. Yep. We'll see. I mean, I would watch this 170s, 160. I mean, I guess 170s. SMH. Well, look what happens. Today's little gap up, closes over the 100-day old trend line. That doesn't look bearish to me. How could it reverse and someone's like, oh, you're wrong, but just based on probability-based trading, this doesn't look bearish. Like it's setting up and setting up to go up. Adobe. Holding. Remember, their earnings pop back, chop back all over the place. Holding up. Doesn't look like it's about to roll. Apple. We talked about the 130 area. Look what it did. Long wick. Gaps up. That looks like it's going to bounce more. And I'm telling you, people are like, oh, I got it shorted today. Holy shit. All right. Amazon, even left-right combo, this piece of crap. This thing's been a dog with fleas. But it's back over 86. CRM. Holding the downtrend. But due to bounce. Guggens fills the gap. Look at that. Nice little bounce. Again, some of these names look better than others. Meta. It's been priced in some pretty bad crap. Holding really tight at the 20-50 day. Microsoft, somebody talked about going long. It makes sense. Holding here at the 50 day. Could come right back up. Hit the upside target zone. I mean, that's 25 points. NDAQ, thank God. You know, talked about, hey, be careful. All right, I'm glad I took profits. Look, it ate it all back in one day at the 100 day. It typically will try to charge back. Charge back close to the high. Keep an eye on it. If you're short, take that money and look to roll it in later for another short. MicroStrategy. Oof, so hard. 160s gets interesting. Netflix. Talked about what? Probably holding down here. Congratulations. I didn't buy it, but not a bad trade if you took it. I mean, you're up 10 at least points. Watch the 50 day. Said watch this area. Well, hello. And that's what happened. Looks all right to me. Roblox. Come on, baby. So close. Tightening action down here. Now I know it can be choppy, sloppy, but all it takes is one little And it's, I mean, think about it. It bottomed on their news last week. A couple days. Making higher highs and higher lows. Come on. Compression. Compression leads to what? Release. Let's see if we can get the release up. Said maybe 30s. Mid-30s. 38. Be lucky. That'd be cool. I'd take it. Tesla. Some people talking about buying it down here. I don't know why you wouldn't. Right now you've got volume and the price action tightening. We said today's action, if you got stopped out, fine. Watch tomorrow because this turns into a left-right combo and turns green. It could be a couple days of up. Minimum. Hope that helps. Tech. It's due to bounce. Letter X. Hey. Look at that. Things that don't look bearish, right? Guides up. Keeps rising. Looks good to me. Nucor. Talk about someone's like, oh, I bought it too late yesterday. No, I told you didn't think you were too late. Well, if you bought it yesterday, you won. You couldn't have lost. You were up for the day. Congratulations. It looks okay. VALE, little nervous about it, but you know what? It's in the material space. It's probably going to hold up. Don't really, again, it's hard to trade this one. Aero. Talked about it. Hitting 0.5, pulling back to the trend line. Watch what happens here. Maybe that 3-day pullback and then go. CCJ. Just uranium, you're trying. I know. Give it a good college try. Lay on the grenade kind of thing. Good work. Let's see if you get it. CF, like this stuff because, again, think about like the bigger chart here. Like strong. Now it's tightening up. Someone had volume down here, I'm telling you. Just wait. People are like, oh, it's not rising in the market. Okay, I've seen this before where the market maybe goes flat and this thing goes and this candle turns into a $10 candle day, $6 candle day. We'll see. Keep an eye on it, all right? Mosaic. The Mose. Gaps up. Make it a little higher high. Again, here you go. Volume at the lows. Now, keep in mind, this was from last week from option squaring, but not every chart has this, so it's worth noting. Some has more position squaring, like NTR doesn't have it, see? But holding up. Let's talk about last but not least, AA. We got a lot of this down here. Congrats. Just keeps rising. Remember, Boeing's flying, literally. I would not be surprised the mid 40s. Could it get up to 49 to 51? You bet your ass it could, especially if the market rises, right? XBI, someone was whining about this. It's like, man, this thing just, it's okay. Can't chase it. Looks good. Things that don't look bearish, right? Here we go. Doesn't look that bad. No, of course you didn't. Financials, what did I say today? You can't short the market if the financials look strong. Tight action, gap up. Now, looking for shorts, but not yet. Absolutely not yet. Morgan Stanley, come on. Talked about it rallying. I want to see it up here. Keep an eye on it. That gap, we'll see what happens. Some banks look better than others. Clearly, like JP Morgan, like gapping up. I know these are dojis, but at least they're holding at the highs. We'll see. That doesn't look pretty, but it doesn't look like it's rolling over immediately. Solar, talked about that yesterday. Man, like that action was like, look at that. Rallies. ENPH. Here's another one. Look at that. Freaking A, man. This is stuff that doesn't look bearish. Like, it engulfs all the previous day down. That doesn't look bearish, y'all. And people are still asking to short. I'm like, what planet are you on? Here you go. Sedge, left-right combo. Right back up. Come on. This doesn't look bearish. First Solar. Chopping. Look at this candle. Long wick. Zinc. Closes back at the highs. See what happens. Hopefully you're getting the picture here. Oil. Talked about really wanting this in the 64 to 65 range. Did not take it. Did not take it. Was hoping, I don't know, waiting for the oil futures, and look at that. Market rising, oil rising, doesn't seem that unnatural. UNG, be careful, this thing deteriorates, but over time, because of the way it's structured, could be a buy down here. Very tight stops, please be very careful. Someone asked about oil service. Well, if the market rises, oil rising, shouldn't oil service? Yeah, there you go. A higher low, could it? Absolutely. 55% short interest, you bet your ass that it could rip. Oxy. Talked about it, tightening action. All right, let's see if it happens. Get over that 200-day. Keep it simple, stupid. Even crappy EQT, one of our non-favorites, double bottom, maybe rising. Even that piece of crap. ExxonMobil, we talked about this one incessantly. Not making new lows. Look at that. Look at this. And then it pops up now again. It's into some short-term resistance. Are you surprised it might be a little sleepy up here while the rest of those names catch up? Nope. Not at all. Not at all, Dan. PXD, and then we'll roll. I mean, just trying to make this quick. Just boom, 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 boom. There's not a lot to say. It's like professional gap. Let it go. Here you go. PXD looks good. If you have any questions, please reach out. Be smart. Be thoughtful. I'm here to help you, but do the work. Again, you want to own why you're trading. You don't, again, do not blame anyone but yourself. Again, this is for fun. Whatever, you do what you got to do. I'm just telling you right now, if you want to be good at trading, you got to know why you're doing things. You can't rely on others. Now, you can ask questions, but don't expect someone who, like myself, anyone else who does this, and you're not, I mean, again, you don't need to pay me, but like, you're just looking for the easy answer. You're wasting both of our times because you're not committed to being great. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of people in the Discord room. I just worry about them. I don't think they're committed to being great. I think they're committed to winning when it's easy, but they're not committed to knowing why. And say I take 3 days off from the market, they're going to freaking fall apart. They're just going to fall apart. Now, I appreciate the love, support, generous donations, happy holidays, be thoughtful. Again, pay yourself, pay your taxes, buy your family something nice for Christmas. Chip off a little dime for your boy here if you feel like the education is well worth it and you're saving on the tuition bill. Because I'm telling you right now, you don't want this to cost millions of dollars. And on that note, talk to you later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.